What would you do with 10 million shillings? Buy a second-hand car or a plot of land outside Kampala? That certainly would be a jackpot for an average 25-year-old Ugandan looking for a job. Maybe not. Now pause for a minute and imagine this. You have 30 million shillings not for use, but to spend at a campaign rally. That is the average daily expenditure of presidential candidate Dr. Kizza Besigye in his campaigns.
Everywhere you go, there are meetings. You go in a hotel, you're not only paying for accommodation. If you must meet the structure, the campaign structure there, in the case of FDC, the leadership there, you must hire halls. Yes, on average, if you must be very, very modest, you need about 30 million shilling.
He will spend as much or even more during the 3 months of campaigning.
In the case of Dr. Besigye, you also move with those who are preparing your meals, even at every hotel where he stays. There are people who go in the kitchen of that hotel to prepare his meal because you can't take chances. So on average, you have a team of not less than 20 people that you'll move with from day one to the end.
President Yoweri Museveni, given the size of his convoy and status as the incumbent, could be forking out more money than all the candidates. Independents and novices in the race may have to be more creative or disciplined in their spending.
I've been training so many students in universities, in schools. Many of them are holding key positions. I've also been having friends. You know, I contribute to people's weddings, people's functions. Now, when I announced that I'm running for president, they all came out and said, "We are going to support you." And they're supporting me generously.
Unlike previous elections, after recent electoral amendments, the Electoral Commission no longer gives the 20 million shillings facilitations of four-wheel drive vehicles to presidential candidates. However, they still get a security car and guards. Against this reality, a pastor and businessman, Joseph Mabirizi of the Independent Coalition, and former presidential advisor on Busoga Affairs, Maureen Chalia, decided to hold joint presidential candidates.
Moving with Maureen Chalia, we decided to utilize the little funds we have because we get our funds from the people, and we decided to join our campaign.
This photo of Chalia on a boda with her escorts following closely emerged days into the official start of the campaigns. Was it a campaign strategy to woo voters, or has she fallen on hard times? FDC spokesperson Ssemujju Nganda says every presidential candidate must have a financial muscle to run a campaign.
Someone who can't raise the basic resources to run a campaign cannot run a country.
According to an internal budget estimate seen by NTV, Mabirizi uses at least 6.6 million shillings a day in his campaigns. This money goes into expenses like posters, fueling cars, and hiring public address systems. For some who are unable to part with these amounts daily, their campaigns are characterized by start-stops.
At the start, the NRM leader got 8 billion. The FDC leader about 2 billion. Biraro must look for money to start with, nothing. He has only to rely on his friends. So when they see lots of posters and this and that, it is the background that we have.
Former Luweero Bushra fighter, retired Major General Benon Biraro of the Farmers Party of Uganda, explains the difficulties he faces.
I do districts. The average is about 6 million per day that we use. When it's not enough, then we rest.
If an average candidate chooses 15 million shillings, for the next 3 months, one will have spent 1.35 billion shillings, enough to construct a fully fledged hospital. So why would a presidential candidate spend such a sizable amount of money on elections? According to Transparent International Uganda Executive Director Peter Wandera, this can be traced to the commercialization of politics in the country.
The time whereby now you're out competing, you're competing with your opponents who can spend more money. And what we saw that the people who would spend more money usually are the ones who win.
Even I remember 2000 when President Museveni in 1996 authored a letter and put his signature and sent it across the country. There are people who derived a lot of excitement from receiving a letter from Museveni that have appointed you an agent, and then they say signature. That no longer works. They want money.
The Political Parties and Organizations Amendment Act 2010 mandates the government to fund political parties on an equal basis based on their numerical strength in Parliament, with the money subject to an audit by the Auditor General. However, some parties say they are yet to receive this money. With such high costs attached to elections, there are fears that an average Ugandan could be elbowed out from the political space. Shidan Wuchire, NTV Weekend Edition.